Hey everyone, this is Too Big Kim from TwoBigWomenOnTheCouch.com. Welcome back to another series of conversations that I'm having with Kelly, known as Fat Girls Rule, both on the TwoBigWomenOnTheCouch.com website and on YouTube. And again, Terry could not be on the couch with me now, but as you know, I'm doing a series of conversations with just some of our members. Today, Kelly has actually an example of a serious discrimination thing that happened to her as a larger person. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Kelly, and let you tell your story.
Okay, I got pulled over, and I did it on Saturday vlog about this, but I got pulled over by the police about, I don't know, it was like 2 in the morning. I had left the bar, and he felt like I might be intoxicated because I was driving slowly. Mind you, I was trying to read the signs because I didn't know how to get out of town. I previously had stopped drinking any alcohol about, 2 hours and 15 minutes or 2.5 hours before I ever left the bar, and did not go overboard or anything. So, he's like, well, I can smell alcohol. He's like, can you do the test? I'm like, yeah, so big deal. So when we get out, I've never done anything like this before, and I surely would not want to be drinking and driving, or anything like that. But, we kind of did, he did like the, little easy test, like your eyesight, would like follow this pen. And then he wanted me to do things like, put one foot in front of the other and follow this line. Well, I'm a woman, I have breasts, I have a stomach, and I said, I'll do this the best that I can, but I said, I don't want you to think if I'm stumbling, it's because I'm drunk. I said, I cannot see my feet, because my breast is in the way, and if I didn't have breasts, my stomach would be in the way. And he's like, okay, he was very, very nice and very understanding. He goes, you just do it the best you can. So I did, and then, after that, then he wanted me to stand my 350-pound body on one foot and balance with the other foot, like off the ground, like 6 inches, and then count, 1,001, 1,002. Well, I could not do that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if this was the only test I had to do, I would probably be getting arrested for being drunk because of my size. I didn't go into detail because I didn't want him to think I was just a sniveling little drunk. So, I did all this stuff, and he's like, well, do you agree to do a breathalyzer? And I'm like, well, yeah. So we did it, and I was perfectly fine. And then I talked to both the police officers. I said, this is, it's kind of like, this is extremely unfair for anybody who's weighing, I'm going to say over 300 pounds and maybe even 250. I'm like, you might as well just go straight to the breathalyzer. There's no reason in torturing someone who can't do these things when they're completely sober. And you need to just go straight to the breathalyzer. And I said, that's what I would want, instead of, being embarrassed, because, I don't know a lot of people that probably could do that, even if they weighed less than me. I hadn't had, but, the one thing I was guilty of was sleep. I'd only almost been up for 24 hours. So I was guilty of, sleepy driving. But I was fine, and, I went home, and they were, so understanding, and they're like, you're right, you're absolutely right, that these, I told them, I said, it'd be like you strapping on a 200-pound backpack onto your stomach, and then try to do the sobriety test. I said, you're going to have a huge difference in how you think about this, and for people who are overweight or plus size or BPW, you're going to be taking a total different look at it, and have a little bit more sympathy. It would be like, asking someone maybe who had, MS or something to do these things, and you can't expect them to do these type of things. And so, we don't always choose to be overweight. We try to do the best that we can, not to be overweight. And then when we have these things thrown in our face, kind of makes you almost feel a little bit bad about yourself. But then, for me, it makes me angry because I'm like, this is crazy. And, it's discriminating against me for being a plus-size woman.
Well, you're very lucky, though, that you were able to have a nice cop who, when you spoke up about what was going on, that he got it, because sometimes it feels like it doesn't matter. I've not been stopped for looking like I've been drinking or whatever, but I've been stopped for, a couple of things, like I think I had an expired plate one time or whatever, and cops have discretion. And it seems like with me, not for being overweight, but another issue, and that's being African American, they always want to write me the ticket. I always have to go to court to tell them that, look, I did have, something else. So you're very lucky that you had a cop who listened and was understanding and so forth. But I think that you've hit upon something very, very important, and that is, you're right, we don't all have the same abilities. And if we're judging people by the same standards and the same abilities, that's really wrong. Some people are not going to be able to meet that particular test, a physical test or whatever it might be. And so I think that is a story actually that police, cops, whatever, sheriff departments, whatever, should really hear. I think this is a story that they really should hear. It should really go further than just us talking about it on YouTube. Because you really could have gone down had it been a different cop, had it been a cop with some attitude, had it been, whatever. They could have misread that completely. So, wow, very, very interesting and powerful kind of, I guess, testimonial as to, why we can't judge everyone from the exact same cookie cutter deal.
Right. And you also have a right to say that I prefer to just take the breathalyzer and just get this over with. There's no reason and risk hurting yourself because you're putting all your weight on one foot. You could fall over, you could hurt your ankle. There's no reason to do that. Just nicely and respectfully say, please, may I just take the breathalyzer? That's always the final straw, is for them to do the breathalyzer where they already have you pulled over.
Well, that's awesome.
So just ask them.
That's an awesome tip to know, to ask that up front so that you're not, and that goes for folks who might have maybe a medical condition